Who holds the record for becoming a billionaire in the shortest time? Warren Buffett took a lengthy 55 years to make his first billion, but Jay Walker achieved this feat in less than a year. Thanks to the dot-com boom, his creation, Priceline.com, rocketed his net worth from zero to billions almost overnight. However, his success was short-lived when the bubble burst. His fortune plummeted. Meanwhile, Buffett's wealth remains steady, and he's not going anywhere soon. This is the type of wealth you should aspire to build. The financial game isn't a walk in the park. It's challenging, fiercely competitive, and pitiless. If you're not familiar with the rules, you're bound to fail. Many people work hard all their lives, only to end up with little or nothing because they don't know how to make their money work for them. In other words, they lack investment knowledge. Let's say you've managed to save an extra $1,000. That's a commendable achievement considering nearly 70% of Americans don't have this amount in their bank accounts. Instead of splurging it on another gadget or a pair of shoes that will end up gathering dust in your wardrobe, let's say you decide to invest this money. But how should you invest your first $1,000? Real estate or the stock market? What stocks should you purchase? Is $1,000 even enough to start investing? We will answer all these questions and more, so hit the thumbs up and let's dive in. To give you a taste of what investing is all about, let's consider an example. Suppose you've saved $300,000. You could buy a flashy sports car to showcase your success, or you could choose to invest in real estate. By renting out the property, you could earn a steady income of at least $2,000 per month. If you decide you're tired of collecting rent, you can sell the property and recoup your initial investment, possibly at a profit if property values are higher than when you bought the property. This is how your money can make more money. However, with only $1,000, buying real estate is out of the question. That doesn't mean you can't invest and grow your money elsewhere. The simplest route is to deposit it into a savings account and earn interest. But why would the bank pay you to keep your money there? Well, the bank loans your money to others at a higher interest rate and shares a slice of the profit with you. That's banking in a nutshell. The downside to this approach is the minimal interest on savings accounts. The highest you can hope for is around 0.8%. So, if you invest your $1,000 in a savings account, you'll only make an extra $8 a year. With the Federal Reserve targeting an inflation rate of 2 to 3%, your money will effectively depreciate in real terms if you're not earning at least 3% interest. Because of the overall low interest rate, particularly since the pandemic prompted the Fed to lower rates to stimulate spending. Once the economy recovers, the Fed will likely raise interest rates, and savings account rates will follow suit. Another option is to buy government bonds. When the government needs to fund spending but lacks the cash, it issues bonds essentially is promising to repay the holder the face value plus interest. While bonds are influenced by interest rates and currently offer less than 1% return, they're considered extremely safe. In fact, for the U.S. government to default on its bonds, the entire U.S. economy would have to collapse. But if you're aiming for higher returns, say 10, 20, or even 30%, you should consider the stock market. For instance, Amazon's stock price soared over 80% in just a year, Google rose nearly 30%, and Tesla skyrocketed by an astonishing 721%. So why invest anywhere else when you could potentially double or triple your money in the stock market? The answer lies in one word: risk. While government bonds are virtually risk-free, investing in individual companies carries the risk of the firm failing or suffering negative news. That can have negative result to the stock price. For example, Apple is a stable company with a low failure risk, but it has less growth potential than a company like Tesla. Hence, Tesla's stock grew by 721% in a year, while Apple's only grew by 70%. You need to decide how much risk you can handle. If you can't afford to lose your $1,000, risking it all on stocks may not be wise. Many investors mitigate stock market risk by investing in index funds, such as the S&P 500, which tracks the top 500 U.S. companies. While some of these companies will undoubtedly fail, others will succeed. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% per annum since the 1920s. So, Buying a share in an index fund like Vanguard's in P500 ETF could be a smart move with your first $1,000. Another advantage of index funds is the principle of diversification is not to putting all your eggs in one basket. By investing in an index fund, you're spreading your risk across hundreds of companies, which can help insulate you from the failure of any one company. Here's a brief summary of how you might consider investing your first $1,000. Savings account. This is the safest, but also the least profitable option. Depending on the current interest rates, your $1,000 might only earn a few dollars per year. Government bonds, a step above a savings account in terms of potential returns, but still considered very safe. The returns are typically slightly higher than a savings account. Stock market, this can be risky, but it also presents an opportunity for high returns. You could invest in individual companies, but remember that this carries a risk of the company failing or suffering from negative news. And the last one is index funds. These offer the potential for high returns with lowered risk due to the diversification in owning a small piece of many companies. Remember, investing always involves some level of risk. There's no such thing as a risk-free investment. Do your research before investing and only invest money you can afford to lose. It's also essential to be patient. Building wealth through investing is a long-term game. Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire overnight. It took him decades. Lastly, consider seeking advice from a financial advisor, especially if you're new to investing. They can help you understand the different investment options and their associated risks and rewards, and they can help you create a plan that aligns with your financial goals and risk tolerance. So what are you waiting for? Start investing today, and remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after spending. Instead, spend what is left after saving." If you liked the content, consider subscribing and please smash the like button. This will help to grow this channel. Thanks for watching.